Right, welcome back. We are looking at equivalent fractions as a new topic for this half term, and to start it off, I've got two sets of circles here for you. Okay, both are shaded in slightly. Okay, you should be able to see it's those three squares there and this section here. Okay, now if you look at it, okay, in the first circle here we have 3/4 of the circle shaded, because there's 3 shaded out of 4 possible, so you get the fraction of 3/4. Now, if you look at this circle, the circle is split into 8 sections, okay? But exactly the same amount is shaded. So the equivalent fraction, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shaded here and 3 shaded here. Okay, so that would mean that 3/4 is the same as 6/8. Okay, now if you look at it, what do we multiply 4 by to get to 8? Okay, we multiply it by 2. So whatever we do to the bottom then, we've got to do to the top as well. Okay, so we're going to times that by 2 as well, and that's the pattern that you need to spot out of this. Okay, whatever you do to the denominators, the bottom numbers in a fraction, you've got to do exactly the same to the numerators or the top numbers in a fraction. Okay, if they are equivalent. Okay, if I gave you just slightly off topic, if I gave you 2/9 and 10/18, okay, 10/18. If we times, okay, we need to times the denominators by 2, but the numerators we'd have to times by 5. So for that, okay, they are not equivalent. Okay, and they're not equivalent because you have to times the top one by 5 and the bottom one by 2. Okay, let's have a look at this one then. So again, exactly the same thing. 2/3 of this circle is shaded in, okay, because 2 sections out of 3 are shaded. And on this one, it takes up the exact same amount of space, but this time it's out of 9ths. There are 9 sections overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are shaded. Okay, and we can check that because we times the denominators by 3 and we times the numerators by 3 as well. Okay, so they are equivalent fractions. So I got a few questions now for you to look at. Okay, we'll go through this together. Okay, so these are we're told they're equivalent fractions because we've got the equal sign in the middle. Okay, on here we've got to times the denominators by 4. Now, if you remember, I said to you, whatever you do to the denominators, you've got to do to the numerators as well. Okay, so we need to times that by 4 as well. Okay, 3 times 4 is 12. So the equivalent fraction is 12/16. Okay, it also works backwards. If you're going from right to left, okay, you are dividing. If you're working from left to right, you are multiplying. Okay, on this one, okay, I'll work the other way around to show you. So if we're going from right to left, we are dividing by 3, which means we need to divide by 3 for the numerators as well. So we're at 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay. It could also be that the top numbers are given to you, so you've got to work out the denominator. So we could have that. Now to go from left to right, we need to times by 5. So we've got to do it on the bottom as well. So 8 times by 5 is 40. Okay, here I'm going to work backwards this time. So I'm going to go from right to left. Remember, if we're going from right to left, you need to divide. So we're dividing on this one by 8. So here we need to divide by 8 as well. Whatever you do to the top numbers, you must do to the bottom numbers as well. Okay, 40 divided by 8 is 5. Here, okay, slightly bigger numbers now. Okay, to get from 15 to 60, we need to times by 4. Now on these, you're either going to be multiplying or dividing. You're not adding or subtracting, okay? So that's a fairly common mistake to make. Okay, so whatever you do to the bottoms, you must do to the top. Times by 4 is 16, okay? 6 going to 66, times by 11. 11 times by 11 is 121. Okay, so key things here, okay? If we've got equivalent fractions, whatever you do to the top numbers, the numerators, you also do to the denominators or the bottom numbers of a fraction, okay? If they're not equivalent, whatever you're multiplying or dividing by on the top will be different to whatever you're multiplying or dividing by on the bottom, okay? If you're going from left to right here, so we're going from 4 to 16, you are multiplying. And if you're going from right to left, you are dividing, okay? I'm going to give you a worksheet to go along with this as well. So if you've got any issues, let me know. Otherwise, have a good day.